Hey guys, this is Lala Legacy and welcome to If My Heart Had Wings. So this is a game that's been on my to play list for quite some time. And I was actually recently asked to play this as well. So I decided let's go for it. So this doesn't seem like it's gonna be a very long game, but it seems like that this is a very beautiful game too. So I guess let's just get into this. The bicycle road race is known as a really harsh sport. The hill climb in the middle is hell too. While putting strain on every muscle in your body, you have to continue pedaling without any brakes to climb a steep hill. At that time, I always think, I can't do this anymore. I'll make this race my last. Even though I think that every time, in the end, I still take part in the next race. I've endured severe training so that I don't put my feet down halfway through the hill climb. Why do I do that? Because once I finish the hill climb, I am waiting for my reward. Nothing compares to the feeling of cutting through the wind as I race down the downhill section at blistering speed. At that moment, I feel an incredible rush. Then I realize that I have forgotten about everything. The pain of the hill climb, the strain on every muscle in my body, and the days of hard practice. It's not a matter of whether I win or lose the race. I just enjoy it, and that's why I continue to ride. That's how it should have been. Uh-oh, until something happened, right? I still didn't have much life experience at that time, and it was something beyond my imagination. Suddenly, without warning, something was taken from me. I could also say shut away or lost. However, to directly express the emotion I felt at that time, taken is the word that fits best. So, there was one thing that I learned. Life isn't all about having fun. I gained a lesson in life. The thing I lost was everything. I let myself get depressed about this, but I should have thought about it a little more. If something could be taken from me so abruptly, then something could be given to me just as suddenly. The wind blew, a gentle but strong wind. It would not be unreasonable to call it an encounter. What this could be, or what this could be the start of, even now, there's still no way for me to know. The windmill is turning. People are overwhelmed just because of the size of such enormous things. This unnatural silhouette serves a function, but to those who don't know what that is, it would appear to be something very bizarre. With so many lined up like this, it could be said to be even more overwhelming. But why is that? The sight of the white windmills lined up on the green hills somehow seemed so picturesque. This is amazing! To think that something like this could be made! At the very least, 5 years ago, there was nothing here. Just a wide open space. I heard they were going to build a large-scale renewable energy research facility. The cell phone in my pocket vibrated to tell me I had received a text. It's from Anchan. To Aoi. Did you arrive here already? Sorry I couldn't come to meet you. My name is written using a Chinese character read as Aoi. It's a difficult character and is often mistaken for Midori. Incidentally, whether it is Aoi or Midori, it is often mistaken for a girl's name, which causes a few problems. I'll quickly write a reply. I hardly ever use text, so I find the key touch awkward to use. I got here a little too early, and I'm just going for a stroll. The windmills are amazing. Okay, send. The reply came quickly. They're great, aren't they? It's the new famous spot of Kazegauda. If you have any problems, contact me anytime. Anchan. Thank you, Anchan. As I sent the text, I sat down on the grass. This place is on the hillside, so from there, I was able to gaze at the lake and the town that stretches across the opposite bank. The rapid redevelopment of the town of Kazegauda meant that the remnants of the old buildings from the Showa area are intermingled with the modern architecture. The view expresses both the past and the future at the same time. Something white flitted across my field of vision. For a moment, it looked like one of the windmill blades had come flying off, but there was no way that could happen. Is it a paper airplane? I got up and headed down the slope to look for it. The paper airplane, gliding gently, eventually lost its momentum and descended. Gotcha! I ran ahead of it, did a small jump, and caught it in midair. Where did this thing come flying from? Judging by direction, it had to come from the top of the hill. At a time and place like this, could there be someone here besides me? I took the paper airplane with me as I climbed up the slope. Just as I was able to see the top, the animation in this is beautiful. A sudden gust of strong wind blew the paper airplane out of my hand. Hey, wait! I chased after the paper airplane and ran up the slope. I am like enraptured in this. Oh my god, it's so pretty! Then, just as I finally caught it, there was someone on top of the hill. It was a girl, sitting in a wheelchair, looking fleetingly into the distant sky. A sudden breeze blew her hair and she combed it back with her fingers. Against the background of the blue sky and windmills that spread across my view, the girl's black hair and white blouse looked incredible. It was as if I was looking at a completed work of art. The girl noticed me. At first, I thought I should make an excuse for why I was there. It was like I had stepped into her world without permission, and I started to feel guilty. She's not saying anything. Some guy had just suddenly appeared, so perhaps she's being cautious. To show her the reason why I had come here, I held out the paper airplane. Did you throw this? The moment she saw it, her facial expression stiffened. She looks like she's welling up. Suddenly, tears appeared in those delicate eyes. Huh? What? The tears that had welled up in the corners of her eyes came running straight down. So, it got to you. As I watched, great big tears came rolling down her cheeks. Huh? Hey! Without thinking, I walked up beside her. What's wrong? You hurt somewhere? She shook her head. She touched the hand that I had unconsciously held out as if she were clinging to it. Her hand was small and trembling. I was scared. She gently squeezed my hand. It's okay now. I didn't even know what the situation was. However, as I answered, I squeezed her hand back. Chicken? Quack, quack. Ow! Ouch! Before I knew it, there was something like a chicken at my feet, and all of a sudden, it started pecking me. That's a duck, not a chicken, you dumb. Ow, that hurts! What is this thing? Wait, is that a duck or is that a goose? Could be a goose. Now I feel dumb. Stop! Stop that hat! Hat, as it was called, calmed down at her command. Is it a duck? With a yellow beak and white feathers, it was a duck that looked like a chicken. For some reason, it was wearing a hat. I'm sorry, it's because I was crying. It seemed like he mistakenly thought that you made me cry. Ah, so this is how surprising it is to be suddenly attacked by an animal. However, thanks to that, it looked like she had stopped crying. Is the towel okay? I don't carry a handkerchief around with me. As I said that, without waiting for her to reply, I took a hand towel out of my bag. Of course, it had been washed, so it was clean. Thank you. Why were you crying? If it hurts somewhere. That's not it. As she answered, she pointed to one of the wheels of her wheelchair. It had lost its air and had collapsed. You got a flat tire? Because of that, I've been stuck here. I've been here for an hour already. That's a terrible thing to happen. Just a mere flat tire, for her, is like having her legs taken away. Don't you have a cell phone? I left it in my room, she answered, dismayed. That's why I thought of another way to call for help. That way, if there is someone who can get my SOS and come here for me. SOS? Oh, this? I opened up the paper airplane that I still had in my hand. I'm in trouble. Someone help me. I'm on Windmill Hill. So when someone arrived carrying the paper airplane, she felt relieved and started to cry? Now she was fine, but until just now, she was shaking. That must be how scared she was. Hold on a moment. The bag at my feet rustled as I rummaged around inside it. When she saw the tools that I had taken out, she seemed confused. Would it be okay for you to get out for a moment? Why? I'm gonna fix it. You can't go anywhere if you have a flat tire, can you? Well, yes, but, would you be able to give me a hand? Of course, getting out of the wheelchair is not easy for her. What should I do? From the methods I'd seen on TV, the care workers do it by embracing them from the front. We both looked as though we'd imagined that situation and froze. I think I'll do it myself. Excuse me a moment. Huh? As I put my arms around her sides to her back, I suddenly lifted her up. Whoa, she's so light. Because she was much lighter than I had expected, there was a bit too much momentum. Huh. Before I could grasp the situation, I put her down on the soft grass. I'll have it done soon, so hold on a moment. Oh my god, we actually get to see our character! That's kind of strange. But I like it. Sure. They're made in the same way as as bicycle tires. I immediately started on the repairs. She's behind me, so I can't see her expression, but I had a feeling I was being stared at with contempt. As I was quietly working, the duck was waddling around me and pecking at the soil. Is this duck your pet? No, he isn't. We're housemates. Housemates? I thought I'd go outside and he started to follow me. Hat, don't go too far. You'll get left behind. The duck recognizes their own names? When he's called, he responds by turning around. Hey, he's pretty smart. Yes, he is. That's why he's so much trouble. He's always getting into mischief. As I looked at the duck, I saw her legs laid out on the grass in my field of vision. So she can't move them. There are a number of reasons why people need to use a wheelchair, but it looked like she had a disability in her legs. When I picked her up just now, her body stiffened up with surprise, but there was no strength at all in her legs. The duck returned from his little excursion. While walking around her, he would occasionally try to jump onto her lap. "Get off of me," she said as she made him get down again. As I watched this exchange from the corner of my eye, I fixed the flat tire. Boys are great, aren't they? They always walk around with those kinds of tools. That's not really the case, though. I sometimes carry them with me. This is the first I've sat on the grass in ages. It's soft and feels nice. As she said that, she made a little sound as she stretched. This is a nice place, isn't it? Yeah, it is. I could see it from my window. I wanted to come here just once. The wind blows through here. 5 years ago, there were no windmills, though. 5 years ago? I've just come back to this town. Oh, really? She directed her gaze at something far away. So, you've come back to your hometown? Yeah. She suddenly looked down and seemed lonely and strangely sad. There was an awkward silence as I continued working. The duck twisted its neck to look up at the sky. What is it, Hat? She was tempted to look up too. I wonder what that is. What's that? Something is flying. There was something floating in the air. It was crossing the lake and gradually getting closer. God, this is beautiful. At first, I thought that it was a paper airplane that she had thrown coming back to us, but it wasn't. It crossed the lake and eventually reached the air above the small hill where we were. An airplane? It's not paper, it's a real plane. But what is this? Its silhouette is much thinner than any plane I know, and the wings are really big. It's a glider. No doubt about it, that's a glider. A glider? I repeated the name as if to confirm it, and then looked to the sky once more. With its big white wings and wide silhouette, it reminded me somewhat of a seagull. Hey, look, it's turning! It's so pretty! The glider is continuing to turn leisurely above our heads. It's flying ever so slowly. Of course, it doesn't have any thrust. As it proceeded slowly across the blue sky, it seemed to be floating rather than flying. To fly on the wind like that, it looks like it would feel nice. Yeah, it's coming down. The turning glider looks as if it had given up on rising and came down towards the top of our hill. I mean, it's not like it was coming down to land. It was just reducing its altitude. Why don't we try waving? They might notice us. Yeah. She earnestly stretched out her hand and waved towards the white aircraft floating in the sky. Hey! I didn't know if the pilot noticed us or not. However, the wings reflected a gleaming light, and it really did look as if it was answering us, calling out to it. Then the glider turned its back to us and flew away, back to the other side of the lake where it had come. It's gone, she mumbled sadly as she lowered her hand. God, this game is so pretty. I wasn't expecting this. Extend the little wings which fly in the sky highly. Ah, cicadas. Sound of summer. I fixed the flat tire and went with her into the town. This is the residential area on the opposite bank of the lake to Windmill Hill, where we were just now. This place is nice. I'll take you back to your home. No, it's okay. It seemed like she was going to say "but" before she stopped speaking. For a girl with a walking disability, just because she was shown a little kindness, she can't bring some guy she hardly knows back to her house. Thank you. Because of you I was saved. Don't mention it. If your tire ever goes flat again, call me anytime. I only said it as a joke, but she blushed and looked down nervously. Thank you. If you're thanking me, you already did that just now. It was quite fun. Like spending time with a friend. Yeah, me too. And I saw something unusual too. The glider that we had just seen now flying in the air above the hill where we were just now. So did I! That's the first time I'd seen a real one. I now have some wonderful memories. She murmured quietly and giggled. Coupled with her cute and dainty appearance was her lovely smile. Well then, I'd better get going. Okay, take care. Sure. The wheels squeaked as she pushed the wheelchair along with her hands down an empty street. Behind her, the duck wearing a hat waddled along with her. Hey! She stopped her hands and turned to face me. See you again! She looked troubled and embarrassed, then left without saying anything. She sure was cute. Where is she from? Her appearance was quite graceful, as if she were the daughter of a rich family. A little lady with a duck? It was an odd combination, but they seemed strangely familiar with each other. Okay, I had better go. Now I'm going to the dormitory called Flying Fish Manor. Due to certain circumstances, that place will be my new home. While walking along the gently sloping street, I look up at the clouds moving above. Floating so freely like that, they reminded me of the glider. That distinctive silhouette had left a mysterious impression on me. I finally found it. This place. Is this it? Flying Fish Manor. There's such a big difference between its appearance and its name. That's like giving a tough-looking Japanese tosa a name like Lily. At least call it Mason do Flying Fish or something. That's why even though I looked everywhere, I still couldn't find it. Because I thought it's not this place, I completely ruled it out and then walked round and round this area. Even now, I still can't believe it, so I'll check the sign one more time. Flying Fish Manor. There's no doubt about it. Even so, I'm still not entirely convinced. I mean, I know a lot about this place. It's an old European-style building on the shore of the lake, and because its appearance is a little spooky, when we were kids, we called this building the Witch's Mansion. As a test of courage, we would often sneak into the yard. We just thought it was a rich person's residence, but it's a dormitory. Keifu Private Academy Student Dormitory. I can't just stand here in shock. Whew. Okay. I took a deep breath and stood up straight. May I come in? Oh, a visitor? What? Suddenly, a girl in her underwear appeared before me, and the expression that I had tried so hard to straighten out crumbled instantly. May I ask your name? Why? She's the one who should be worried about having been seen, but why am I the one feeling under pressure? We don't accept door-to-door sales. What's up, Kana-chan? Looks like we have a visitor. A visitor? Huh? What? A guy? From inside, the other girl, this one was wearing clothes, showed her face, but when she saw me, she let out a hysteric scream. At the same time, the glasses she was wearing looked like they were about to slip off. Kana-chan, your clothes! Your clothes! What is it? Another girl appeared. Oh, Yuka! This unknown boy saw Kana-chan's naked body! What did you say? Huh? What? Huh? No, that's not it! Just like a god of salvation, my cell phone rang. The word mom was shown on the display. Excuse me a minute. Mom, I just saw some girl in her underwear. What do I do? I quickly pressed a button to answer the call while swiftly escaping outside. Mom! I thought you'd be at Flying Fish Manor and that things would have calmed down by now. What's it like? Well, the place is full of girls. And I saw one in her underwear. Of course it is, that place. Yeah? I had checked the sign over and over, but then I noticed some small writing in the corner. Girls' dormitory. This is a girls' dormitory! Oh, didn't I tell you? Did you do this on purpose? What is this? What kind of mother are you? From now on, I'm going to be this place's dorm mother, aren't I? It's fine. The owner and the boarding students have all accepted it. Just now they were screaming at the top of their lungs. Oh, did you go into the changing room by mistake? That damn mother of mine, she's enjoying this situation. The front door opened slightly and the girls from just now were peeking through. What's happening, Sana-chan? He's still here. When I called out to them, like a surprised turtle, they pulled their faces back inside and shut the door. What should I do about this? Well, this is the situation. Oh, so you're like the new dorm mother. While I was explaining the situation, the boarding students, apart from the girl in the underwear, who was putting on some clothes, surrounded me but kept their distance and watched at me. This is no good, is it? A boy being the dorm mother of a girl's dormitory. That's alright, isn't it? From behind the underwear girl, she was wearing clothes now, but they were pretty gaudy. There were some girls who looked like they were hiding, but they were nodding and agreeing. If nobody comes here, that will be the bigger problem. Yes, that's right, but I just thought it would be someone older. Yeah. Incidentally, there is now one more person than before. She was kind of timid and looked to be the same age, or maybe a year younger than me. What is it? Did you say your name was Aoi? How old are you? I'm still a student. From tomorrow I'll be going to Keifu Academy. I'm in the 2nd grade. So you're in the grade below. Hee, she said. What do you mean, hee? The person who came to speak to all of you was my mother, and, well, she kind of half-tricked me into accepting the job as dorm mother. My mom has a job connected to real estate, and her company manages this property. Well then, what should we do, Yuka? Should we change? If that's the situation... The person who seemed the oldest said so, and the other people reluctantly nodded in agreement. This is just until the owner-caretaker comes back or we find someone else. I apologize for the inconvenience, but for the time being, let's all try to get along. Once the conversation was over, naturally everyone left and went back to their rooms. Hey, I'm sorry, everyone can be so childish and they got carried away in front of a young guy like you. I'm Kanako Shigure. If you need anything, please call me. The caretaker's room is at the end of the corridor on the first floor. Thank you very much. Was that all of the boarding students? There's the underwear girl and Kanako, who is with me now. Yuka, the tall girl with the long hair, and Sana, the girl with the glasses. The timid one who came from the back is Ryoko. That's 4 people altogether. Well, there's one more person, but she's what you might call the reclusive type. I wonder if she'll come out of her room at some point. Oh! In other words, there are 5 boarders in total. This building is pretty big, but there are only 5 people living here. Come to think of it, my mom did say there are quite a few empty rooms. It's old and a little far from the school, so maybe it's not that popular. Whew, I've worked up a sweat. I'm gonna take another bath. Anyway, the conversation ended well, so I'll call my mother to let her know. So in the end, we somehow worked things out. Really, that's good. I'll tell you this now, though. Keep your hands off the girls. What are you talking about, Mom? Well, as long as it doesn't cause any problems, it's okay. Oh, and also, I told you before, but one of them has a walking disability. Suddenly, the sound of flapping wings came from down the hallway. Then a shrill voice sounded out. Wait! Hat! Huh? Something big and white came flying down the hallway and from behind at breakneck speed. Was the girl in the wheelchair. Oh my god. Wait, you stupid duck! Give me my panties back! The big white thing, which somehow seemed like a duck, was flapping its wings and flew behind me. The girl in the wheelchair avoided all the obstacles in her path, in other words, me, and chased down the duck like a drift racer. I was so overwhelmed by the speed that I couldn't say anything. I got you, Hat! The girl in the wheelchair caught the duck at my feet and snatched away a small white cloth, possibly panties, from its beak. Jeez, you're always playing tricks. If you do it again, I'll turn you into Peking duck. The girl put the duck on her knee and lectured him. I remembered seeing that before. However, it's somehow a lot different to the image she had during the day. In the daytime, she seemed more dainty and delicate. However, her appearance was the same. It's not often that you see such a pretty girl. Looks like your tire is in good condition. She finally realized that there was a guy standing there. Hello, are you listening? Yeah, what was that? I was saying there's a disabled girl, so take good care of her. Sure, I got it. Okay, talk to you soon, Mom. I replied as I ended the call. Why are you... She got as far as saying that, but then realized that she had the small cloth in her hand, and tried to hide it by stuffing it under her backside. Why are you here? He's the new dorm mother, Kotori-chan. Kanako, who was supposed to be having a bath, poked her head out. Really? Wait, really? What do you mean? I hadn't heard about that. Even if I tried to tell you, Kotori-chan, you hardly ever come out of your room. You mean the new dorm mother is a boy? Hey, look! Is what I felt like saying, she was saying as she relentlessly pointed at me. We already had this conversation a long time ago. The girl, known as Kotori, glanced at Kanako like she was interfering. I'm the new dorm mother, Aoi Minase. I'm Kotori Habane. Kotori seemed to meet my introduction with reluctance. This is Hat, but you already know that. Hat turned to face me and flapped his wings. He's a clever duck. Are you really the new dorm mother? Yes, that's right. So you are against it? If she says she doesn't like the fact the dorm mother of a girl's dormitory is a guy, or the fact that we're the same age, there's nothing I could do about it. Kotori closes her eyes and quietly takes a deep breath as if trying to focus her mind. Kotori? Forget about what happened during the day. During the day? Which part? As much as possible. That's right. If I had to say. She stopped talking and stared at Kanako, who was standing behind, listening. Kanako looked as if she was saying, "Okay, okay," as she disappeared down the hallway. That I made a careless mistake and that I started crying. Oh. That incident was quite startling and I remember it well. To see a girl's tears from so close like that is something I don't experience very often. I don't know what she thinks about it, but those tears were very beautiful. Have you forgotten it? Huh? No, not yet. Forget about it right now! Don't be so silly. When you say like that, it just makes it even more strongly engraved in my memory. Look, you're new here, so you don't know. Even like this, Kotori straightened her back, composed her expression and smiled. And swish, with a natural gesture, she lifted her hair up. Don't you feel my cool allure? What's allure? Allure! I just said it a bit wrong, that's all! Oh, I've heard that word before. I'll say it again, let me do it again! She said that, then straightened her back and made a composed smile again. Okay, that's enough, I get it, alright? Ugh. Jeez, you're such a jerk! Nitpicker! Lowlife! Kotori used just about every insult there is, then turned her wheelchair around. Then she hurriedly raced back down the hallway and back into her room. Along the way, Hat, who had been thrown off, chased after her and entered the room through a small door, maybe a special door for ducks, built into the bottom of the main door. I looked on in disbelief. I don't need to say this, but the dainty and delicate image that she had in the daytime had completely crumbled away. A delicate bud was beginning to sprout, and we shared a fleeting love, but... Cool Alul, right? When I remembered lifting her hair and being so full of confidence, I feel like I could burst out laughing. She's so funny! From the beginning, everything's been so messed up. From tomorrow, it looks like things will start getting interesting. I really feel that prediction would come true. Oh, okay. So that's just something that it says every time. My first job as dorm mother. That is, to make breakfast for the boarders. That's some good eating. Oh, you're good at cooking. Can I have some more rice? Sure, a big bowl, right? You know it. I'm pretty confident in my cooking. Until recently, I was living with my father, who was ordered to transfer to the country, and every day I helped out with the housework. I was in charge of preparing the meals, and it's not like I hated cooking or anything. That's one of the reasons why I accepted the job as dorm mother. So, the others don't need breakfast, huh? Since just now, no one has come into the dining hall. Sometimes there would be someone walking through the hallway in front, but they seem to be sneaking around. Kanako looked towards the hallway, just as the oldest boarder, Yuka, was peeking in before swiftly dashing off. Geez, they're all so naive. They still haven't gotten used to boys. But Keifu is a co-ed school, right? Even if you go to the same school, you won't see them with their bedheads and faces without makeup. I see. It seems that a guy being the dorm mother of a girl's dormitory will have its problems after all. There is a reason why I accepted the job as dorm mother at Flying Fish Manor. Not long ago, the owner janitor collapsed. It sounds like she's pretty old, and as well as straining her back, she caught a summer cold, which became aggravated. The owners soon began looking for a replacement, but it was hard to find one. Then, she sought help from the real estate company where my mother works. This is one of the properties that my mom manages, and is an old acquaintance of the owner from decades ago. She nominated me for this job, just as I was planning to come back here. On the documents, my mom is the one responsible for this place, but she got me to carry out the practical duties. In other words, the work of the dorm mother. Then, that became the condition for me coming back to this town. As always, she's very crafty, but I wasn't really against the idea, so I accepted. If I'd known it was a girls' dormitory, of course I would have refused. This place is old, a little far from the school, but the rent was cheap. Apart from the food and admin expenses, it costs next to nothing. That's why it would be a big problem for me if I couldn't stay here, and if in the worst case scenario the boarders wouldn't be able to go to school. So now it seems that everyone has accepted a guy as the dorm mother. Thanks for the meal. Whew, that was good. Kanako stacked up the dishes on the counter and licked her lips in satisfaction. Everyone will get used to you soon. Well then, I'm off now. She had eaten it all. Not even a single grain of rice was left, which is how it should be. To have people enjoy my cooking feels pretty good. I feel deeply relieved. I'm happy that things are going well. Oh geez, I'd better get ready for school. In the entrance of the dormitory, there was Kotori. She was dressed in her uniform and looked like she was about to go to school. Morning, Kotori. Morning. Are you going to school? Shall we go together? Huh? Why do you want to do that? Why? Well, if you're worried about my legs, then there's no need. She put it bluntly as she quickly went out the front door. I don't have any friends at school, so I was just asking. It looked like we'd had a strange misunderstanding. Wearing my new uniform, I made my way to school. I'm a dorm mother, but also a student of Keifu Academy. I mean, this is my real occupation. Today is the first day at my new school. I'm not really the shy type, but I guess I am kind of nervous. I would say that the school I was going to before was a sports-focused all-boys school. Keifu Academy, the school I'll be going to now, is an engineering school and a co-ed, and the school traditions are quite different too. As I walked the streets that led to the school, there were more and more groups of people wearing the same uniform. This is the same area in which I lived 5 years ago. There should be a few people that I don't know, but most of the people who I'd recognized went on to regular schools. I wonder if the ones who chose to go to Keifu Academy remember me. Even if I only know one person, it would make a big difference. There'll be more weird misunderstandings with Miss Alul, too. Oh yeah, which school do Ageha and the others go to? They're my childhood friends, who I always played with when I was a kid. There's Ageha, Mabo, Hotaru, and Anchan. Out of that group, Ageha and Mabo are the same age as me, but we haven't met in 5 years and haven't really stayed in touch. We just about managed to exchange New Year's cards, but that reminds me. In the corner of last year's New Year card, I think there was a small message about which school we were planning to go to. What did it say? A lot of things happened, or maybe I'm just lazy, but I haven't told anyone apart from Anchan that I'm coming back. To be honest, I'm not even sure how I should be if I met them. But that is all the time that I have for this episode, guys, so I hope that you liked it. And, yeah, let me know what you think of this game, because I personally think that this is beautiful, and I cannot wait to, keep playing this. The story, it's really slow right now, but the animation and the art style is, it's, blowing my mind right now. For a visual novel, this is amazing. Amazingly done. Yeah, so that's my opinion on this so far. Story is slow, but the artwork and the animation makes up for it. So, yeah, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button down below. I love you guys so much, and I will see you next time. Bye!